With its distinctive swimming pools in the upper deck, there's a look inside Everbank Stadium here in Duval County, Florida. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And out a little across the 25 to the 27. A first carry for the Canadian-born Chuba Hubbard. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down. You look at this Browns defense. They've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Now it's Burrow. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Here's Guerrero on first down. Dances by him. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. The Jaguars are 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
On the counter, this is Hubbard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That second down play nets a -4. Well, this defense for the Browns, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down.
Here we go.
Now it's Burrow. And incomplete on a deep ball.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on fourth down. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this will be blown dead right around the 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Levis. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Flush to his right. Escapes the and a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Levis looking to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, if nothing else, they were able to pick up 1 first down on this drive and get it away from their own goal line. But not much happened after that, and it leads to a punting situation.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Levis sets up to throw here. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48 there.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack. and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here we go.
Burrow will throw. Oh, and that is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Second and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big third down coming up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here we go.
Now Burrow. They'll run the screen with Hubbard. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and the deficit will stay at 2 field goals.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Jaguars will take over here at their own 12-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of it.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offensive.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Well, it's certainly going to be a lot tougher adding a touchdown to that lead now since they're facing 2nd and 20-plus. Big-time sack to start the drive and put the opponent way back. Let's see what kind of play call they come up with here.
6-0 our score after 1. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Now Levis. Got a man downfield. It's Otten. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And now the yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Levis to throw it. And he'll go down. 20-yard line. Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And his kick here is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here's Burrow. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Here's 2nd and 10.
11 M.P. paint. 11 M.P. paint.
Burrow looking to pass. And that is incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting to 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
12.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Micah Parsons coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And the Jags are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
A promising sign there from an offense that hasn't done a whole lot to this point. Nice job to locate the open receiver. And it's good yardage and a 1st down to open the drive.
And they'll run on 1st down with Hubbard. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Here we go. Here we go. 11, 11, 11, 11. 12, 12, 12. Got it.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Gun. Got it. 11, M.P. 11, 11, 11, 11. 12, 12, 12. Got it.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Here we go.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Doug Peterson going to roll the dice here. They will go for it on 4th down.
11, 11. 11, M.P. 11, M.P. Got it.
4th down. Here's Joe Burrow. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Jaguars. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jaguars' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is down to 2. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Second down in the yard. Levis back to throw. And this will be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Back to throw, it's Levis. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission. They'll set up the screen here for Hubbard. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
And not that the coach asked me, but I do like the call there to start the drive. Looking for something maybe to jumpstart this offense. And they decide to run a little screen play. Maybe give their running back a little bit of space. Mission accomplished. He turns that into good yardage and a quick 1st down.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll set up to throw. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
11, Thomas. 11 M.P. 11 M.P.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. That ball caught. It's Rice. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Now that certainly solidifies how to attack this 2-minute drill right before the half. I don't think they were going to try and run out the clock, but now after that big play, their thoughts are certainly of trying to score and get some points before the half.
Being chased out left. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
11, 11, 11, 11. 11, M.P. tight. 11, M.P. tight. 11, 11, 11. 12, 12, 12. Stop.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Ron Thornhill. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Levis out of the shotgun now. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. And now we'll give a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here's Levis. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Now a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Levis in trouble. Down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, and talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
Levis out of the gun on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Michael Wilson, 84 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Levis. This one deep for Wilson. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. A big play that time for Cleveland. 51 yards.
You just had the feeling that sooner or later someone was going to come up with that one play. Neither team has really done a whole lot offensively, but here's one that pays off to the tune of big yardage, and it's one that could maybe get this group in gear.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Warren is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
This time, the extra point up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
At their own 36-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Here we go.
They'll give this to Hubbard running right. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
12, 12, 12.
Now it's Burrow. Flushed out right. He gets this one to Hubbard, complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the 1st down marker, Excellent defense, good tackling.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down.
And
Burrow going to keep it himself. Yeah, this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Shaquille Barrett there pushing upfield to make the stop.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Levis sets up to throw here. He's going to wind up and air it out. And Levis tosses his 3rd interception of the game. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Jaguars are going to get it back here just past the 35. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Now it's Burrow. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Pick made by Terrell Bernard. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks him right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Working from the gun. Here's Levis. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Levis looking to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Wilson. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And that'll keep this a 9-point game. Now, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
And they'll start on the ground with Hubbard. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Jaguars! Chuba Hubbard, his third rushing touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Browns drive about to get started. Now they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score, but bottom line, they are still on top with the football, and a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. Second down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Now Levis. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. It's caught. Lockett. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And slow going there as they'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on third down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Levis to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Levis looking to move him around a bit. From the gun, Bigsby. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Rice will go in motion left. Another run by Bigsby. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This complete to Lockett. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape for the 1st and goal.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Browns are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's caught inside the 10. And he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. It was pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. A 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. A give running right. It's Hubbard. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
1st down, they'll stay on the ground with Hubbard. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
They come up now on 2nd and 2.
11 MT, 11 MT. God.
Throwing, Burrow. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
Gun. God. 11.
Oh, looked like they got someone to jump there. And if that's the case, this will be a 1st down. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Thomas. 11. God.
Here's Burrow. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
2nd down and 6 now. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Cleveland, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll fall to 1.